My name is Lori Edberg, and I'm your host for Behind the Curtains with Lori Edberg. And here with me is Krista Bradley, the Executive Director of Black Rock in Germantown. Krista, welcome.
Hi, thanks. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Krista, I'd like to learn a little bit about you before we go into Black Rock. Can you tell me how you started in the arts field?
Sure. Well, I was lucky to have parents that really loved the arts. My mother was a big music person and my dad was a big theater person. So I grew up in Montgomery County and grew up going to Wolf Trap and going to the Kennedy Center during the summers and played instruments all growing up. So the arts were always a big part of our family life. And I sort of fell into it, you know, growing up and after college, I was supposed to go into marketing and public relations, and I wound up getting an internship at an opera company and loved it so much that I decided to stay in the field. And so I've now been in the field for about 20 years, working for a variety of different arts organizations, opera companies, dance companies, and also working as a funder to fund arts and culture in the region.
And how did you come to Black Rock?
I knew Black Rock because they were one of my grantees.
Oh.
Before I got there, I was the program officer of performing arts for an organization called Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation. And Mid-Atlantic was one of 5 regional arts organizations that partners with the National Endowment for the Arts and state arts agencies to fund individual organizations. And so I oversaw grants and programs along the Mid-Atlantic, and so I knew a lot about the people here in Maryland. And Black Rock was one of my grantees. So I was quite aware of the growth that's happening around the organization and saw the potential for the organization. And so when the opportunity came about, it was a great opportunity for me to be able to match what I know about the arts and to be able to work for an organization that I think is going to make a huge difference in the county.
And I know this about you, but what is it in your background in terms of the arts that well, I know that you sing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I am a musician. I've been singing since probably the age of 12 in choral ensembles. I play piano. I took up painting about 10 years ago. So this is kind of a dream job because, you know, we're a multidisciplinary arts center. We do everything from music, theater, and dance. We have 2 galleries, so we get to work with some amazing visual artists. And we have our arts education program. So this job sort of speaks to all the different performing and visual arts attractions that I have to the field.
Now, with Black Rock organization, it's a fairly new organization, right? It started 2000 and...
We're 12 years old.
12 years old, okay.
So we're a tween.
Right, exactly. You're a tween. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, we're a tween. So we, we've grown up with Germantown. We were created by some very visionary community leaders who saw that Upper Montgomery County was going to be a place of growth and saw that Germantown would be a place of growth and thought that an arts and cultural organization at the cornerstone of Germantown would be integral to that growth. Right now, a lot of organizations around the country realize how important arts and culture are to spurring economic development. And so I think it's really unique that we had leadership 12 years, 15 years ago that realized that before it became popular. And we were very fortunate to be able to partner with a lot of organizations to make this happen. From our friends at Milestone Business Park who donated the land, to our developers at Artery Development Corporation that provided funding, and then we certainly partnered with the county council and the county to make sure that this place was built and was secured. So we've had a lot of people that have played a role in our growth.
Tell me about some of the events coming up. Such as the Wonder Woman film event, which
I'm
is
so excited about all the things that are coming up. As I mentioned, we're a multidisciplinary arts center, so we do a lot of great performances of international and national performing arts touring artists. But this year, what's new for us is that we started a film program, and it's an independent film program called On Screen in Person, and it provides an opportunity for us to bring 6 of the most exciting new independent filmmakers and their films to Black Rock, along with the filmmakers. So not only do you get a chance to see some of these films, but you get a chance to hear about how the filmmaker created the work, why they did it, And our next one coming up in March is Wonder Woman, about the superheroines in cartoons and in history. It's really a great way during Women's History Month to focus on women and how they've been portrayed in comic books or in the media, and who are the heroines that are making a name for themselves. We have everybody featured in that film, from Gloria Steinem to Linda Carter to other women that have made a really big difference in the women's movement and just the way that women are portrayed. So we're really excited about that. And we're partnering with a great women's group, Montgomery Women, an organization that's concerned with women's leadership and in politics and in the community. And we're really excited about that because it's a great way for us to celebrate not only superheroines in the national scale, but certainly those that are right here in Montgomery County.
And on the Wonder Woman, it's going to be a reception and then a film and then discussion, something like that?
Yeah, for every one of our films, we have a panel discussion with the filmmaker about some of the topics that are raised in the film. But what's special about this is that Montgomery Women and BlackRock will be doing a pre-reception prior to the film, and it's a great way for people to have a more up-close and personal conversation with the filmmaker and hear about her experience creating this piece and why she did it. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And Linda Carter actually lives in Potomac, so maybe.
We're hoping that we're really hoping that she'll join us because she's close by, and she certainly was one of my heroines growing up.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a great video on your website, a 4-minute video that shows a little bit about the film, which is, if you haven't gone there.
Yes, our website's a really good place to learn more about all the things that are coming out there, not only clips about the film, but clips on each of the artists that we're presenting that are performing artists. So you might not have heard about somebody, or you're not sure about the music. You can go to our website and click on it and get a chance to see what you think.
Now, I'm also really interested to know about Clarksburg, how you're going to branch out there.
Well, Clarksburg, for viewers that might not know this, is one of the fastest growing towns in the state of Maryland. And we're very fortunate to have them so close. For us, we're very interested in making the arts as accessible as possible to residents in Upper Montgomery County. That's certainly a part of our mission. And with Clarksburg growing, we want to make sure that Clarksburg residents have an opportunity to access all that we have to offer, since we are the preeminent music and theater and performing and visual arts center in Up County. So we recently announced a potential partnership with Clarksburg Premium Outlets and the developers there. We're exploring ways that we can bring the arts more closely to our residents here in Clarksburg. And so to that end, we're going to be going out into the community and asking folks in Clarksburg and the surrounding area, what would they like to see? You know, how could we be of service? How could our arts education programs be of use to their kids and their families? How can we bring performing arts to them that they might enjoy in their backyard? So we're really looking forward to what that might entail. It's all sort of exploratory now, but we're excited with the potential for that.
So do you see doing this sort of thing in other areas of Montgomery County? Maybe starting with Clarksburg and reaching out to other communities?
Well, we already do take our work outside of our building, which is a beautiful building if you haven't been there. But we're more than our building, and we really believe in access to the arts. So to that end, we already bring many of our arts education classes off-site to local elementary and middle schools. So our teachers that are already teaching at the center are also offering ballet classes or theater classes off-site in neighborhoods where it might be harder for kids to have the transportation to get to us, so we want to go to them. Likewise, looking at ways that we can take some of our performing artists that are coming through and we're presenting, we'd love to be able to find other ways to present them in other places that are nearby. So, you know, as we look to make the arts accessible to as many people as possible, I think that the sky's the limit with the types of things that we're going to take off-site.
And how will you find out what Clarksburg residents want? Do you do a survey, or how do you gain that feedback that you need?
Well, we just had an open house. The developers for Clarksburg Premium Outlets just did an open house last week, and we were there with some activities for the kids. But we had a survey there, and we got some great feedback about people really being excited about us bringing our programs there, and ask things like, well, what kind of music do you like, and what kind of theater do you like, or what kind of family programming would be really helpful? When would you like to see it? So that's the beginning start of that. We'll be doing more surveys, but we'll also be doing some community facilitated discussions, probably some focus groups in the next couple of months.
That's great. Well, we have to take a break, but we will be right back, so please stay with us.
Bring out the action hero in you. Fuel up right and get energized. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice? 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Mom, can I have $1? I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. The upstairs closet?
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back to Behind the Curtains with Lori Edberg. Returning with us is Krista Bradley, Executive Director of Black Rock Center for the Arts. Krista, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'd like to know, how do you see Black Rock as being distinctive from the other art organizations in Montgomery County?
Well, we are the only performing and visual arts center in Upper Montgomery County that's based there. We are a multidisciplinary art center, which means that we do 3 basic things. We have performances, we have galleries and gallery shows and exhibits of some of the most leading visual artists in the region, and then we have a really robust arts education program where we have about 500 people from 4 to 94 that come through our doors every week. The other thing that makes us unique, other than being in a multidisciplinary art center, is that we're an intimate and warm venue. We have our spaces, our performance spaces, our intimate spaces. So people have a chance to be engaged at a level that they might not have in a larger, more cavernous space. One of our theaters is 210 seats, and the other one is a 175-seat black box. So there's nothing more powerful than being able to be so up close and personal with a performing artist who might be this far away from you when they're playing the cello or the guitar, or if you're that close up to a dancer. That makes for a really visceral, powerful experience, and I think that's what people love about Black Rock, plus that it's a really warm and welcoming place, so they feel much at home there.
Now, people are going to start going to Germantown more and more because of Wegmans.
Yay, Wegmans.
Yes, Wegmans. Everyone loves it there. But how is Wegmans going to help Black Rock, do you think?
Well, Wegmans already began helping Black Rock because they're so committed to community. They reached out to us in the very beginning before they opened up their store and asked us how they could actually be involved with us. And they're unique as a funder because they really wanted to know what would help us, right? It was, they wanted to do the right thing. They wanted to be able to support local organizations, and they asked us what would be the most useful. So that's a great funder, and being a former funder, you know, it is a partnership with organizations that you fund. So Wegmans has been great. They helped us with our open house that we do every year. They provided in-kind gifts for our open house, 250 gift bags to the people that came to that.
Wow, that's great.
Which, yeah, it was phenomenal. And then they provided a $5,000 gift for us to support our arts education programs. So that's just the beginning, but we're looking at ways to, as I mentioned, increase access to the arts and finding ways to offer our tickets through Wegmans. Where people are shopping, it makes it easy for them to get tickets for some great performances that are coming up. And looking at other ways that we might be able to do some joint programming in terms of arts education classes. And, you know, culinary arts are part of the arts stream, so we might find that we'll be doing something like that with them in the future.
That's great.
Yeah, we're excited.
I think Wegmans will make a difference. I mean, I think you'll have more people coming to the area. Which
well, people actually now know where Germantown is.
Yes.
They realize it's not near Pittsburgh.
Right, exactly.
It's really much closer than they think.
But that's a good issue. How do you draw people from Chevy Chase and Bethesda up to Germantown?
Well, we do already. You know, some people feel like it's really, really far, but it's really not. I grew up in Bethesda. It's only 20 minutes up the street. And I live in Silver Spring. It takes me 30 minutes to get to Germantown. So our programming is so diverse and really, really high quality. When people want to see an artist that they really care about, like Dar Williams, who's a phenomenal folk singer-songwriter, or Susie Boggess, who's, you know, a Grammy Award-winning country music person, or Tiempo Libre, a Latin jazz group, they will travel because they really want to see that artist. So part of the power of our programming is that we're bringing artists that people want to see, and they particularly like seeing it in an intimate venue. But we advertise everywhere, just like our colleagues, through the Post and through social media, and our audiences come from everywhere, not just Upper Montgomery County. We have people that come from West Virginia, from Northern Virginia, from Pennsylvania. So we're happy to be able to be a provider of really great art for people that are all around.
And what do you see as a future for Black Rock, looking in maybe 5 years from now?
Oh, wow. Well, I think that Black Rock will be still emerge as a cultural capital for Upper Montgomery County because we see the area booming, and we want to keep up with that growth and be able to provide the kinds of programs that can meet the needs of, you know, families and other people that are moving to the area. I see Black Rock probably beyond the building. You know, Black Rock is also a brand that brings really high quality performing arts to you in your backyard, and that brings unique things, not just things that you're going to see everywhere else. I see Black Rock as being a really great partner for families because we already do a lot of family programming, we do a lot of arts education, and we want to provide families and youth an opportunity to engage in the creative process. We know that the arts makes for a smart, independent, creative thinker, and as parents, I think that we all want our kids to grow up that way, and so we can be a really great partner with that. So I see us doing more family programming in the future, bringing different kinds of international and national programming, from cirque to puppetry to film, things that you might not see everywhere else and that you don't have to go so far to find. We are close to home, and we think you shouldn't have to go very far to see really great art when you live in, in Upper Montgomery County.
And tell me about the Nighttime Task Force. What did the executive put this task force together? How does that impact Black Rock?
Well, it's a great task force and a great opportunity for us to focus on how do you encourage people to go out, have a good time, spend money, and want to linger. For any of us that want to go out and that go out for a night on the town, it's not just about going to see the show and then getting into your car and going home. It's about having a really nice dinner. It's about having, seeing a show and then maybe grabbing dessert or drink afterwards. And for places like Black Rock, we need to have partners surrounding us that allow us to extend that experience for our patrons, right? Whether they're going across the street to a place that's going to be open till 10 or 11 o'clock, or we're going to be able to provide that ourselves, and have wine bar at Black Rock. So the Nighttime Economy Task Force is all about how do we create partnerships among organizations like arts and cultural venues and businesses and restaurateurs to make for a really great experience where everybody benefits, right? Everybody benefits from that and has a good time.
And how is it working as an executive director for an arts organization in Montgomery County?
Well,
do you feel very blessed, or is it challenging, or a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both, and it's not because we're in Montgomery County, but being an executive director of an arts organization is a challenging and thrilling ride. I can't think of a better job. We get to identify great artists to bring back to our home base and see people come in there and have a really great time. It's kind of like throwing a party all the time and making sure that people leave feeling really good. So that's the great part. We're particularly blessed in Maryland. Maryland is one of the most supportive of the arts here. Our governors over time have made sure that Maryland State Arts Council has the resources it needs to fund organizations across the state. And we're doubly blessed with Montgomery County. We have phenomenal leadership, and we've had that leadership for a long time with people that believe that the arts make communities better, they make it a better place to live, they're economic drivers. So Montgomery County has always understood the power of arts and cultural organizations in making this county a great one. So I feel really fortunate to be running an organization that has that kind of support on the state and local level.
What has been your most memorable experience so far as executive director of Black Rock?
Oh my goodness.
I know, that's a hard one. It is. Has a performance particularly spoke to you? Something
Every performance speaks to me. You know, music and theater are very powerful things. But I guess I get the biggest excitement when I see people having a really great time and having an aha moment, whether whether it's a new patron that said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were here," or "This is such a beautiful place," or "I didn't realize how great it was to be in such an intimate venue. It's just like you're right there with the audience." Or to have a kid, leave with a sense of wonder because they just met Angelina Ballerina up close and personal. That's magical. So for us to be able to create the environment for artists and audiences and patrons to interact and engage in a meaningful way, that always makes me really, really excited.
And the building itself is beautiful.
Oh, it's
the
stunning.
Architecture. If someone has not yet been to Black Rock, could you just describe it for us?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a beautiful contemporary light-filled building. I love coming there every day. It's full of windows. It's has soaring ceilings, both when you walk into the main lobby and in our galleries. They're one of the highest ceilings in a gallery in the DC area.
Wow.
So it's that's a gorgeous space. Our monoliths, which are these cured stone pieces that sort of anchor inside and outside of our building, are gorgeous to look at, and they have a history because they were cured at High Point Farm, one of our farms up in Upper Montgomery County. The terrazzo floor has a story to it. It tells the history of Germantown. If you're there, you'll see some parts of it that are blue and winding, which represent the Seneca Creek up in Upper Montgomery County. You'll see some wheat and some corn, which is a nod to the agricultural history of the area. And then you'll see some sections of it that look like railroads, because railroad was a really big part of our growth. So the building is both contemporary and beautiful and timeless, but it also has a great nod to the history of the region.
I love that. I mean, it just makes it more of a place you want to go to just to see for itself. And there's always arts exhibits that are free to the public.
Yeah, we do. Right. We have all of our exhibits are free. We do about 14 a year. Our receptions are free. We have free concert series outside every summer. We do about 5 to 6 performances on the lawn, which is an incredibly popular summer outing for people in the region. And we try to make our performances accessible through pricing that is affordable. This year we just made a special price for every person under the age of 18. Every ticket is $14, no matter what what you're going to, because we think that kids should be able to see, and young people should be able to see arts without difficulty.
Absolutely. And how do you reach out in terms of social media? Can you give us your website, Facebook, anything?
Sure. Well, our website is blackrockcenter.org.
Easy.
We have a great Facebook page, and we're hoping to hit over near the 2,000 mark. But we have a very active Facebook page, and then we are big tweeters. So we do tweet. My handle is BlackRockExec, and then we have BlackRock Center as also our another Twitter handle. So it's a great way to sort of keep up with the backstage workings of BlackRock. You know, I just came back from New York looking for performances that we want to bring next year, and I tweeted a lot about the things that I saw. So it's a great way to get insight to what's coming down the pike.
And do you get feedback when you tweet? Do they,
I do.
Good.
I do. I get people that follow me.
That's great.
And some of our artists are fabulous about, retweeting and favoriting our tweets so that people who maybe are fans of an artist, they didn't realize that they were coming, and that's how they learned about us. Social media is a really big part of what we do, and we're looking at it being an even larger part of what we do.
So I think the main picture is if you haven't gone to BlackRock yet, you should.
You should be there.
You should be there.
And when you do, come and introduce yourself to me so I know that you're new, and I'd love to hear what you think.
Well, thank you so much, Krista, for joining us today.
Sure.
This is it for Behind the Curtains. For more information about BlackRock, please visit them at www.blackrockcenter.org. This concludes our program. I'm Lori Edberg, and it's been a pleasure hosting this episode of Behind the Curtains. Thank you, Krista.
Thanks. It was great to do this.